Get your finances in order. Welcome to my channel, Faith Meets Finance. My goal here is to teach moms, just like myself, single moms at that be able to get their finances in order regardless of their situation, current situation, or their past. So I'm here to help moms like you and me that basically could be in a situation where we just need a simple financial reset. We need to stop surviving and start strategizing. And there is possible ways. I'm a mom that, did a bankruptcy, and I was able to get my finances in order and put myself in a situation to fix my credit and be able to save so that way I can, 4 years later, become a homeowner. So I want to be able to inspire you guys. Now, welcome to my channel, and I'm hopefully that you'll be able to learn many things here. And I'm trying to show little bit and simple strategies because I know that when it comes to our finances, it's just, it's a stress. And sometimes it becomes, very difficult and seems impossible. And we think that there is no way that we'll be able to get out of debt. And I'm here to tell you why I started this journey, because I was able to do it myself. I became zero debt after using especially credit cards, and I was drowning in debt in so many different ways, even after the bankruptcy, because I had to learn to do money management, realistic management with one step. And yes, everything is possible with faith, with discipline, and with strategy. And I'm here to kind of like just give you guys information on what worked for me, and hopefully it will work for you. Of course, not everything, works for everyone, but hopefully you'll be able to get at least some key concepts and be able to get some information that can help you. Because I'm a single mom, and yes, I was balancing 9 to 5 while building multiple income streams online. I had the hustle mentality because even though I was only working one job, I had to get myself in a situation where to bring in more income so that way I could get and rid of the debt. So why, the real reason what we're going to go ahead and cover in this channel, I'm going to go and show you guys simple strategies that may work for you. And then you could just try different things and see what works for you. Because what worked for me 5-6 years ago may not work for me today. So it just depends what your situation, what's your financial situation, what's your mindset, what are your goals. So here I'm going to basically help you guys to start a financial reset plan, so that way you could reach goals that you want to reach. And it's very simple. It's not as complicated as we may think it is, but I'm hoping that you'll be able to get some knowledge, and that way you could implement it, so that way you could use those and put yourself in a better situation. So hopefully by the end of, of this journey that I'm showing, you guys will be able to get yourself in a better situation. So here are just some things that worked for me. The main thing that's very, very important which is facing your finance, okay? The number one reason people stay stuck financially is because of fear of dealing with their finances. And I totally get it. I've been there and done that. But in order for you to get out and stop being stuck in that situation, is first and first is to actually face it, right? No matter how scared we are, problems are just not going to go away. So being aware of your financial situation is the first step. So what I highly recommend for everyone is to grab their last 3 statements from the bank and just learn and understand your habits. What are your spending habits? Where is your money going to? Look into any, lost information, or maybe like subscriptions or things that you feel like, oh my gosh, like you've been paying for and you didn't realize it. Because a lot of people make a mistake by avoiding their finances because it is stressful, and I totally understand. But we have to start there. We have to start looking at where is our money going to before we even try to even get out of debt. So one of the things that I would look at is, what's your spending habits, any subscriptions that you're not even using, any fees that you could avoid. Some people don't realize that there's fees, even if it's just $5 or $10. It could add up. So those are things that you want to look into with your bank. And also any subscriptions that if you feel like it's not something that you're not even using, get rid of them. Go ahead and cancel them. So that is the first step, to start with awareness. What is your money going to? And then that way you can make some decisions to put yourself in a better situation. Okay. So that is just, I know that we try to avoid our problems and thinking that's going to go away, but the reality is problems don't go away, but we can make things better for ourselves. So you definitely want to audit your money. Okay, so that would be the first thing. So that way you'll be able to look into and see what's going on. So once you do that, I would just highlight everything. I would highlight any fees, call your bank and see how you can avoid them. Some people don't realize because you might not get those fees every single month. So you need to find out why you're getting them and how to avoid them. So that way you could also avoid overdraft as well. So the other thing that I would definitely look into is canceling subscriptions. Maybe you realize that you're spending too much money on eating out. Sometimes we think that, we just go out here and there, but when we actually look, we're probably spending more than $100 each week on outside food. So that would be the first thing. Now, the second thing that you want to do is start building a simple budget. On this channel, I'm going to go over different budget systems, and then that way you can see which one works best for you. Okay. Like I said, but you want to create a simple budget, and you can. And regardless how much money you bringing in, budget systems are awesome because it helps you to stay in control. And what you want to do is you want to basically make sure that you know what your money is going to, so that way you can balance the money that's coming in. And obviously, there's different ways that you want to be able to save as well. So one of the things that I highly recommend with the budget system is to break everything down. What helped me is to create 5 different banks. Like I went to 5 different banks and got different accounts. And I made sure that each of them had a job. One was for bills, one was for personal stuff, one was to get rid of debts, one was for savings, and one is for emergency. Those are the 5 main budget systems that I think it will be very beneficial. And you could do something very, very simple. You could start out with that. You'd be amazed if you didn't know this, and I'm going to go and cover that as well. But you'd be amazed how many banks, I always tell people, banks are a business. They're always competing with each other. If you open up a checking account many places, you get an incentive. So you could start with that, okay? Then what you want to do after that is create a debt plan, be able to get out of debt. So you want to start creating a plan. There's different ways that you can do it. I always done it one way, but there's different ways. But you want to start actually looking at your debt. You want to actually look at your statements, especially credit cards, see how much interest you're actually paying. So you want to list all your debts and see what are your rates, okay? What are your payments that you're doing? Is an auto pay. And you want to start creating a plan, because you'd be amazed of how much interest you're actually paying. People don't realize this, but your minimum payment could be $25, and $20 out of that will be interest alone. And then you wonder why that bill just never goes down. So that is very, very important. The other thing is you want to start organizing everything. You got to stop, avoiding the numbers, and you want to start a payoff strategy. And one of the things that I highly recommend, and I will stress it very much, is that if your minimum payment is $25 and you can afford $30, go ahead and do that. The other thing that's very important is start saving. Even if it's just small, start it with $5. I have a 52-week challenge that I do where I start with $1 per week, and I go all the way 52 weeks, and I end up saving more than $1,000. It's about $1,200 or $1,300 for the whole year. But some people could do it, you could do it backwards. But the main thing is that you want to set it up in auto pay. So you want to create a savings account, and you want to set it up where it will automatically send it to that savings account, so you don't even see it. You know what I mean? And next thing you know, that $5 could be adding up. And then if in the future you go always change it to 10, 20, 25, 50, 100. Eventually you could get up there, but at least start out with 5. Okay, now, like I said, I do have a free budget and debt-free spreadsheet that I definitely would like for you to take advantage of. And it has everything. And not only do I have, a system where, you could use, so that way you'll be able to list everything up and start taking control and start looking ways to get out of debt. But also I add a lot of free resources. So I have one list of 100 free resources available in USA. People don't realize that, but those are the main thing. I also have a planner. Some people like digital, some people like actual book, and I actually have a planner. I do have it both ways. I have an ebook that you could print out, and I also have an Amazon book that you could order, and then you could just write it down. So that's also available. So you could go either way, but no matter what, go ahead and on my link, you could go down and grab the free budget and that free spreadsheet. Start there, and hopefully you'll be able to take advantage of this and also all the free resources that I add in. Now just imagine 6 months from now what your life will be. So you have to ask yourself, why do you want to get your finances in order and look into those goals? Just understand that with God, with the Most High, anything and everything is possible. So hopefully you found this useful. And if you like, go ahead and subscribe and hit those notification buttons, so that way you can learn more and don't miss a video. Many videos are coming in with very simple and easy strategies.